Everybody, and welcome back to the stream. So, last time we signed off, we had just kind of gone on the tail of the Asian, but he unfortunately got away from us. And now we just need to go back to the Waking Sands to report to Minfilia. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Gonna start up the stream by returning to the Waking Sands. So without further ado, let us continue. Alright, I got plenty of Vesper Bay Aetheryte tickets. As you can see, I do have different gear because I've been doing a bit of side quests here and there off stream. So I kind of upgraded my gear a little bit, which was much needed. Pretty sure I am close to getting level 40. So maybe during this stream, if I do actually get Dragoon level 40, I might end up doing the Dragoon quest to get another ability. But for now, we're just gonna be continuing on with the main scenario quest. Also, for anybody watching, if the sound needs adjusting, just let me know in chat. And heads up, any voiced cutscenes that will happen during this stream or any others, I will be muting myself to give people a chance to actually listen to it. Welcome back, Windup. I'm reliably informed the investigation took you to Quarry Mill and Little Alamigo. So tell me, were you able to learn aught of La Habrea? Planted the knowledge of summoning in an impressionable young minds, you say? Precisely the kind of deception the Asians would employ. While many of the ills that ail the land can be attributed to the calamity, some are being brought about by a malign will. We must needs delve deeper into this, while things remain quiet on the primal front. All work and no play makes Minfilia a dull scion. Did you say something? Nothing, my lady. Mayhap we ought to rest a while before speaking further of the investigation. Oh, so she definitely heard. Alright. Billy has another lead for you to pursue. While you were tending to business in Thanaland, some new information arrived courtesy of our friends of the Sylphs. An individual fitting Labria's description has been sighted in the North Shroud. The sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in the self-same area. My instincts tell me that our man is involved. I would have you continue your investigation where you left off. While willing, we will pick up Labria's trail once more. Roxia can furnish you with the details. Ready to speak with her and take it from there. As always, be careful out there, Windup. Alright, let us go speak with Neuroxia and hunt down La Habrea once more. Walking One is to investigate Sinister One, then heed well this one's words. This one is friends with a Walking One in the Ashround Consortium. According to Friendly One, a Digging One named Medred had an encounter with a scary Masked One. This Masked One is most certainly Sinister One. Walking 1 should go and speak with Digging 1 Medrod. Digging 1 is to be found at Falgord Float in the North Shroud. Alright, let us hit return to get to Gridania, and from there head to North Shroud and hunt down La Habrea. Or, as one of my friends put it, La Labrea, which is basically La Habrea in Lalafell form. Pretty amusing, if I say so. It's actually a pretty amusing thought. I'm pretty well over the level of those Bane mites, so they shouldn't aggro on me even if I just jumped in their face. Unless I attack them, they should not aggro on me. Please leave me be. I'm not long for this world. I look death in the face. It's only a matter of time before he comes for me, just like he came for that poor woman. Medred is clearly traumatized. Perhaps if you were to soothe him, he might remain calm for long enough to hold a conversation. Alright, let us soothe you. You're right. It's not as bad as it seems. I saw something terrible, that's true, but that hardly means I'm going to suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can think straight again. I believe I can even recount what I saw without losing it. It was just another ordinary day. I was heading back to the float when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance. A masked man garbed head to toe in black. He had a hideous fiend in tow. A winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared. To see the corpse of a woman. One glimpse was enough to tell me that she died a gruesome death. In that instant, I knew right away that the masked man was a minion of Thal, come to claim her soul for his realm. What? You're investigating the same masked man? If that's the case, we'll help you in whatever way we can. Aye, anything to ensure that we won't have to suffer Medred's hysteria ever again. Alright, teamwork. That's what I wanted to... Wait, I haven't been that bad, have I? At any rate, I'm all for helping this adventure. The least I can do to repay him for comforting me. I mean, that was the only way to actually talk to you, I guess. So, here's what I know about the deaths. All the victims were found with their faces torn to shreds. Among the local fauna, only the scalekin known as Ziz could inflict such wounds. That's why some folk are pointing the finger at them. Somehow doubt that the answer is that simple. But for the sake of thoroughness, we should look into it. Why don't you put down, say, 3 of the creatures and see if you can't find any proof connecting them to the deaths? Unless I cut them open, I don't think I'm gonna find much that is gonna be helpful in my investigation. Oh, I could actually kill the ones in the fate. And I just need to kill this one more. There we go. There we go. Now I can just return back. Probably get the failed fate message since I did contribute a little bit towards that. Unless somebody else comes and completes it. You've already seen to the Ziz. Good work, adventurer. So, were you able to find out that suggests that the creatures are our culprits? Nothing. Truth be told, even if there were proof, I wouldn't know what it looked like. Anyway, I believe we can safely strike this from our list of suspects. Which leaves us with the masked man and his winged eyeball. Okay. And as for the knowledge of the mysteriousness. There's something else I heard about the deaths. It appears all the victims have been comely maidens. I better watch myself, huh? Unseemly japes aside, there's a rumor been going around. There's some as whisper that after each victim died, her anchor went into the great big rock southwest up here, causing it to flash and moan. This bears investigation, I reckon. I'm going to give you a fire sand stick to blow off a piece of that crag. Stick doesn't come with a fuse or anything, so you'll have to throw the thing. Once you've torn the rock, a new one. Bring back some of the fragments, and I'll give them a gander. Alright, so there's basically kinda two parts it would seem for this space scenario quest. At least this bit of it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to complete this one first. Return and turn it in, and then pick up the other one. Since whichever one, I need to complete them both first before actually doing anything else. Alright, there's the rock. Let's just gather the lightened aspected crystal. Or just the humming crystals in general. Hey, Exarch, how's it going, friends? Alright, pick up all 5 pieces. Heading back. Glad to hear you're well. And yeah, I know that feeling all too well. Also, 2 a.m., that's the best time to watch streams. Alright. Most folk are too scared to go within 100 yalms of the Rock of Rancor. Aye, it has a name. What's a few vengeful spirits to a dauntless adventurer like you, eh? Nothing, it's just lightning aspected crystals. Huh? Why, these are just your garden variety crystals. It's a bit hard to tell beneath all the dirt and grime, but they're definitely lightning aspected. I almost hate to say it, but that explains the flashing and moaning. Nothing to do with the masked stranger. Looks like I've gone and wasted both your time and a perfectly good fire sand stick. Oh well. It happens, 18. It happens. There's something you should know. I've been keeping this to myself, lest I worsen Medard's paranoia, but I too have seen the winged eyeball. Not say whether it was a coincidence, but my sighting took place precisely at the same time as Medard's. Setting home after a day of digging when a shadow fell over me. Looking up, I found myself locked in a gaze with a giant eyeball. I let out a scream at the top of my lungs and ran without once looking back. This happened at the rocky area west of here, in case you had a mind to investigate. Oh, definitely. Very much appreciated, Exarch. I know that feeling. You should definitely go get some rest. Don't want to burn you out. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna stay here. Just in case it's up top. No, it's not up top. Means I could just drop down. Not a big deal. Alright. Just gonna wait a couple of seconds to heal up and then summon this monster. You make a very good point, Exarch. That is a very good point. But I do know the feeling that even though you might not need to go anywhere, sleep sometimes just decides to take over. So I'm familiar with both sides of the coin. Eventually be the keyword, I'm assuming. Alright, a monstrous bane might appeared, and you slew it? That creature had long been a scourge upon the folk of Falgord. Potential or no, you have done us a great service. You have my gratitude. Intentional or no, you have done us a great service. You have my gratitude. Alright, I felt like I read that twice. Oh well. But this does make me wonder. Was it truly a winged eyeball I saw? Or merely a trick of light combined with a blind panic? Maybe, maybe not. Only one way to find out. Continue on with the story. Yeah, that's definitely an eyeball from the picture. There have been no promising leads in the murders. I can scarce get a wink of sleep knowing that the killer is still at large. Judging by your furrowed brows, I take it this sorry business troubles you as much as it does me. I've been pondering my encounter. I was uncertain for a time, but there can be no doubt it was a winged eyeball that I witnessed. It's implausible that I could have mistaken so distinct a creature for a bane mite. Honestly, I have no clue what's wrong with it. But apparently it as a swear word for some reason. I need to check how to have that as something that isn't considered a swear word. Yes. That is true. Well, at least he didn't get timed out this time, you know? As long as he didn't get timed out, that's kind of like a good thing. Alright. You and I were realms apart. How could we have both seen it at precisely the same time? What's more, our adventurer friend here had a run-in with the Banemite at the very spot you claimed to see that fiendish eyeball. Isn't that right? There must be an explanation. I know I saw an eyeball with wings. I would wager an apple tart on it. You would wager an apple tart? Is that something that's expensive in this area? Ooh, he's serious. Well, listen. Mayhap it's not as mysterious as we're making it out to be. No reason why there couldn't be. Ah, gods, of course. There must be more than one of the buggers. Ah, it's so obvious. But then that means, since there have been repeated sightings of these fiends, then there must be even more victims as yet undiscovered. Mm. I do believe we're out of our depth. We ought to leave the rest to the expert. Yes, we're just civilians after all. Good luck, adventurer. It was a pleasure knowing you. While I burn to know the truth, some things are best left unknown. Let's see, I've forgotten. It was at the rocky area to the west that I had my encounter. Should you discover Autumn Note, you will want to alert the authorities. There is a guardhouse nearby. Servants there should be pleased for any information that pertains to the security of the region. Also, Exarch, lest you wonder, in this game, one of the things that I absolutely love is that you can't really die to fall damage except for, like, a couple of rare instances, which basically pertains to you getting aggro at some point while falling. You are, if you have aggro and kind of like currently in combat and you fall from a high place, then yes, you'll die. Otherwise, nothing will happen to you. Yes, unbreakable legs, unbreakable body, unbreakable spirit. Alright. Also, one of the things here that amuses me a little bit is that the bodies that you carry. Let's say you wanted to carry a body to go bury it somewhere. Basically turns into a flower. Honestly, kind of saves space because there are a few quests where you kind of like need to carry 5 to 6 bodies, I don't know how it's physically possible for a Lalafell like myself. I know, right? The last thing I expected to appear was the eyeball. Greetings, adventurer. Is there aught I might assist you with? Here you go. Here's a corpse. Gods be good. Not again. Yes, shove it in my pocket. A body that's way bigger than me. Shove it in my pocket and go to the police and just huck them at it. That sounds logical, right? Yeah. No matter how many bodies I see, I cannot seem to get used to the horrid sight. Poor woman. Identical deaths have been reported in the Central Shroud, while the masked stranger you seek does not seem to feature in any sightings of the winged eyeball. Okay, wait. While the masked stranger you seek does not seem to feature in any, sightings of the winged eyeball are common enough. The creature appears to be moving the bodies, but to what end, none can say. Victims have all been young women. All are found with their faces mutilated beyond recognition. It's been difficult to identify them so as to notify their next of. This button engraved with a lily motif. The very same object was found upon another victim. Family sigil, or that of an organization, perhaps. No problem, Exarch. Thank you for dropping by. Much appreciated. Get some rest, friend. Alright, let's continue on. Either way, I dare to hope that this find will prove pivotal in solving the murders. I'd have you hold on to the little button. You'll need it to continue your investigation. Alright, looking forward to your next stop by. Have a lovely evening, friend. While it isn't standard procedure to entrust key evidence to individuals, proving yourself reliable and resourceful in this matter, I see no reason why you shouldn't carry on your work. If I might make a suggestion, you may wish to take the button to Gridania and have it examined by me own. Mayhaps someone in her vast network of contacts and shed light upon its sigil. Even though I can technically just hit return, I shall not do that. The reason being, Gridania is right there. I just waste a return for, like, no reason whatsoever, in my opinion. Even though the return is basically one of your free kind of like teleport backs, I like to have it for when I'm far away. Also, scenery is very nice. Alright, no, my gear's good enough, doesn't need any repairs or anything. Don't see any new side quests to put on the list for when I'm off stream, so I'm still gonna be continuing on with main scenario. It looks like a couple of friends are having a glam off, showing off their glamours to each other. I think I did that with a friend once. Was fun. Few people came and watched. Alright, good evening to you, wind up. By your grim expression, I suspect you aren't here for scones and herb teas. No, I'm here for this lily button. Well, isn't that a lovely button? The engraving is quite exquisite. Artisan level quality, I would say. Where did you say you found this? On a dead body? Lovely. That what? What? Anyway, I'm afraid I do not recognize the lily sigil. You'll have to find the answer the old-fashioned way. By asking around. You could do worse than beginning with Bernadette over by the Aetherite Plaza. She has a sharp pair of eyes, that one. To Bernadette we go, I guess. Need help tracking down the owner of a button. That's certainly not a request I receive on a regular basis. Well, go on then. Show me what you have. Here it is. Seems to be some manner of decorated button, reminiscent of those worn by the families of old. Though I cannot claim to know its sigil. However, I can say with certainty that the white lily is a recurring theme in Gridanian culture. Alas, I do not know who would make a personal sigil of it. There is a soul in Gridania who does. It would be Gold over at the Lancers Guild. One makes a point of knowing all the citizens on a four-name basis. Alright, so I have to go back to my old guild, the Lancers Guild. Bernadette believes that I can help you. Well, that is a rather bold assumption to make. I'll try to assist, never you fear, but whatever aught comes of it, it is another matter. Now then, what do you require of me? Here you go. Fascinating. Work of this quality is rarely seen in the hands of ordinary Gridanians. The owner of this button is most certainly well-to-do. You may wish to take your search to the Gentry's ward, northwest of here. Wait, a memory comes to me. Late there has been a man who is perpetually seated at the bench by the ward's entrance. His name is Ursandal, and I distinctly recall seeing a markedly similar button upon the breast of his jacket. I dare say he can tell you a thing or two about it. Alright, I will trust you. And there's the guy. I do not believe we are acquainted. Pray leave me to my thoughts. No, I shall not leave you to your thoughts. The sigil of the Dark Tanker's family. How? How is that you came to be in possession of this button? From the body of a murdered woman, her face, was it marred in any way? I had feared as much. I can no longer feign ignorance. I shall reveal to you the truth of the deaths, but on one condition. You promise to put an end to my lady's madness and free her from her torment? I can only try. Ooh, a level 20 weapon copper. I probably will not need it anyway. I was once a manservant in the employ of one of the oldest and proudest families in Gridania, the Dark Tankers. During that time, I had the honor of waiting upon Lady Amandine, mistress of the household. Fair as summer was she, and possessed of a heart befitting her radiance. Alas, the calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, death may well have been a kinder fate. Never will I forget the day her bandages were removed and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thoughts of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within her chambers and refused all company. This continued for many uneasy moons until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came, these masked men, but my lady believed that they would help her to regain that which she had lost. So began the rites of rejuvenation. These rituals seemed innocent enough in the beginning, but grew ever more grotesque as time went by. Eventually, there came a day when my lady bound one of her handmaidens to her bed and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice it to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of her body. Performed the dreadful task as bade, obedient servant that I was. When the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmare I had witnessed, so it was that I left HAUKKE Manor, my home for nigh on a half a century. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, and longer still for the woman that Lady Amandine had been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavored to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I had resolved never to speak of my experience till you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay her tormented soul to rest, as you swore to me you would. She awaits you at HAUKKE Manor, on the western edge of the central shroud. Go now. Go and do what must be done. Alright, this is interesting. Things are getting super interesting now. Alright. So I should seek entry into HAUKKE Manor in the Eastern Shroud. On the Aetheryte, I'll take the White Wolf Gate to Central Shroud and go from there. Oh, a void scent. That is an A rank hunt right there. I might come up later to kill it. Floating eye. Now that might aggro me. Yes, it did. Alright, the Manor Gate. And now I have access to HAUKKE Manor. Awesome. Alright. Okay, so before I actually enter the duty finder, I am going to see if anybody in my free company wants to join. All I need to do is just wait and see if anybody wants to join from my free company. If not, and I don't get any hits, I'll just use a duty finder. Alright, so it looks like one person is coming so far. Our friend Chloe. Let's see who else will join. Alright, looks like we got another bite. I'm gonna start inviting people. Let's see. Our friend Kai said she'll come. Invite to party. Chloe's still in a guild heist. Once Chloe's over with that, I'm gonna invite him to party. Alright, looks like Chloe just finished. Once he's out of the other world and back here, I'll do the invite. Actually, let's try this way. Yes, in a different area. Alright. There we go. Alright, looks like nobody else is going to be joining. Let me change it to party. Let's see if we can do a quick ready check if I remember how. Should be main commands. Was it main commands? Extra system travel. There we go. Party ready check. Alright, looks like we are all ready. And sync queue. Awesome. Now that I kind of listen to this track more in depth, I guess you could say, or more, with a little bit more focus, this kind of reminds me of House of the Dead. back, I'll just grab the tiny key. Let's kill the main servants. They're the most annoying of the group. Again, I'll be focusing on the maid servant. Don't really need that door, so guess we'll just skip it. Focusing on the maid servant. That was an interesting pull. Unfortunately, I don't have my elusive jump. this happening? Oh, they got this, so should be good. The target bar, it is too big. 60. Then just need to that save. Alright. Now it should be in a good position. That's a cycle magic. I can't knee on that. I'm just gonna read. Okay, we obtained the green key. That wasn't super interesting. I just saw Ty's HP drop significantly low. Right, here's the yellow key. Off to the Carnation door. Alright, let me just mark this guy. Usually in this dungeon, this boss in particular, you need to kill the Manor Jester first. The reason behind it is that the Manor Jester deals magical damage. Magical damage hurts way more than the physical one, but at the same time, the Jester is more squishy. So it's usually best to just get rid of him first, Then you can take your time with the skeleton guy. Ooh, it's an upgrade. I'm gonna need on that. And I'm gonna grade on that. Alright, item comparison. It's not bad, but not quite what I really need. Sure, however, it's exactly what I need, so I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna leave that here for now. Oh, she doesn't look that bad. Thought her face would be much worse. Alright. Good thing I did the jump earlier, or else I would have been caught in the middle of that and wouldn't have been fun. No, you are just annoying. Like the lady's immune, you kill the servants first. Handmaidens, I think, are the ones that actually need to go down first. No. It was actually one of the eyeballs, probably. Nice. I look mostly naked like this. Not because I look like a toddler. Don't think it kinda matters that much. Do I have the Belt of War? I have the Belt of War. I cannot do this anymore. I'll just read on the rest. A quick bow. Alright, let's equip the Belt of War. Let's return this to inventory, return this to inventory. Darkness has taken root within these halls, sprung from the most unlikely of seeds. One cannot help but admire the irrepressible spirit that quickened it to life. Two Asins. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, adventurer. You are every bit as intriguing as our master gave us to believe. It is no ordinary mortal who can acquire one crystal of light, much less 3. Crystals make you strong, and it is to that strength that the light is drawn. Heidelin chose well. A pity that your existence is irreconcilable with our own. Cannot well allow you to continue upon your present course. Who's gonna stop me? Alas, we came here not to play, but to take a measure of your strength. We're Master La Habrea. My task is now accomplished. We take our leave of you. The way they teleport is so cool, not gonna lie. Fare you well, bringer of light. Such a cool method of teleportation. Alright, let us report to Arsendel. I see I have a new quest. Just gonna keep running. I am most likely going to leave the Dragoon quest till after stream, since I'm at a cool place, I guess you could say. If it takes me near to where I need for the quest, like if it ever takes me to North Shroud, near Fall Gorge Float, then yeah, maybe I'll consider doing it. Other than that, maybe I probably won't bother. To Old Gridania I go. Probably the Lancers Guild. Alright, Aethernet, Lancers Guild. This ability usually comes in pretty handy when I need to go to a certain place fast. Also, it really helps with getting out of AoEs. You are returned. What sights awaited you within the manor? What has become of Lady Amandine? You must tell me all. So, she went so far as to consort with devils, that I could have done more to prevent her fall, and she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether the masked men you encountered are the same pair that first led my lady astray, but it is plain that they are of the same vile brood. Should the chance ever present itself, promise me that you will visit upon them tenfold the woe they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? By my silence I allowed I know not how many innocent young women to die in unspeakable circumstances. It matters not wherefore. Through misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both, I am an abettor to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they deem just. Only pray that the gods will have mercy on my soul. Alright, so it's back to the Waking Sands. Okay, so... Ooh, that is an interesting sword. And shield. Alright, over there. Vesper Bay Aetherite ticket. Welcome back, Windup. So glad am I to see you safely returned. Tell me, how fared you on your sojourn in the Twelves Wood? I got tattoos. 2 of Labre's minions. They sought to measure your strength by their own admission. Devils taunt us. It is beyond doubt, then, that Assassins have begun to move in earnest. That we knew to what end. Yet I will not bemoan our plight, and see your tireless efforts we are at least aware of the encroaching darkness. Alas, we can only do so much. It is clear to me now that we Scions are too few to protect the realm against this threat unaided. We must needs alert the 3 nations to the presence of this elusive enemy, and recommend that they heighten their vigil. There's no shortage of misery in the world that the Assassins might exploit. We have an arduous struggle ahead of us. Yet, come what may, we must not allow ourselves to become lost to hope, for that is precisely what the enemy desires. We have gleaned all we can from the information available to us. Let us set this investigation aside for the present. Another matter has arisen that requires your attention. Let me know when you are ready to be briefed, and I will summon the others. Let's see what weapon I'll get. Of course, a lance. I mean, ain't really nothing new. And mine is level 31. The Wrath of Titan. I might be doing Titan soon.
リムサロミンサのグランドカンパニー国家団から依頼があったわ。
コボルド族の調査結果が来たのね。
ええ、そうよ。正確には調査結果を受けての依頼というところかしら。
どういうこと？
落ち着いて聞いて。リムサロミンサのコボルド族が万神タイタンを再召喚したらしいの。依頼内容はタイタンの討伐、国家団の討伐隊へ同行し作戦に協力することよ。国家団は以前からコボルド族を継続して調査していたわ。
国家団が設立される数年前、万神リヴァイアさんとタイタンが同時期に召喚されたことがあったわ。この時メルウィブ提督は海遊旅団という傭兵団を雇って送り込み討伐を成功させた。しかし2つの蛮族はしばらくの後にそれぞれの蛮神を再召喚し復活させた。
この時は幸いどちらも一時的に召喚しただけで大きな被害はなかったのだけどね。でも願いが蛮神を権限させる以上、蛮神殲滅の難しさを物語る事例となっているわ。
それ以来国家団は蛮族を、特に先の召喚以降頻繁に活動していたコボルド族を重点的に監視していた。そしてこの依頼というわけね。
悪いことに蛮神イフリートと違って情報が圧倒的に少ないわ。唯一蛮神タイタン討伐の実績がある傭兵団海遊旅団は5年前に解散しているの。つまり戦闘記録がないってこと。
激戦になる。国家団に同行するとはいえ相手は蛮神。どういったことが起こるのか想像できない。しかもコボルド族は閉鎖的な蛮族。シルフ族の時と違って対話による解決は難しいでしょうね。今度はあなたの超える力ではない、あなたの冒険者としての力が試されることになる。いくらエオルゼアのためとはいえ危険すぎるわ。この依頼は断っても。
協力してくれるの？ありがとう。
リムサロミンサとくればヤシュトラですね。ちょうどこの件にも詳しい。ミフィリア。
ヤシュトラ、お願いできる？
もとよりそのつもりよ。
ありがとう、ヤシュトラ。よし、やるとなったらとことんやるわよ。本依頼は暁の決命全体で支援します。加えて本来の任務は継続。私たちが任務で一緒に行けない分しっかり支援するのよ。サンクレット、イーダ、それぞれ担当国のグランドカンパニーへ行って状況説明と支援要請を。ブリエンジさん、バルデシオン委員会へ連絡をお願い。できればアルフィノにも。パパリも少しでもいい蛮神タイタンの情報を集めて。依頼の詳細は国家団の作戦本部でしてくれるそうよ。現地へ向かって。十分に用意をして出かけてね。あなたたちにクリスタルの導きがあらんこと。
Alright. So, just let me... That is in Lenosha. Huh. Yep. There we go. Alright. So, before I actually do anything, I am going to teleport to Ball Gorge Float. I'm gonna go over to Corsa Central Highlands and complete the quest, the Dragoon quest. Because I want to be as ready as possible, if you want to say that, for when I battle Titan. It's not that the Titan fight is hard or anything. It just is better to prepare for it. I'm pretty sure I will be getting a damage buff pretty soon for this encounter. Either the damage buff or the AoE. I cannot remember which. It is the AoE. Alright. Actually, let me do this. I completely forgot I was still in a party. You grow ever stronger, and I speak of more than just the flesh. I are slowly but surely realizing your potential as an Azure Dragoon. It is heartening to look upon you, though I must confess that my presiding feeling is one of relief. You must understand the mere thought that the Eye would choose an outsider, one who ill comprehends the threat posed by the dragons, filled me with the gravest of misgivings. Yet you have... but I shall say no more, lest flattery impede your improvement. Now, during our last lesson, I enlightened you regarding the origins of dragoons. You will recall how Haldrath heroically triumphed over the great worm Nidhogg, and Ishgard came into possession of the Eye. Tell me, Windup, do you believe that these events truly transpired, or are you inclined to think them fairy tales? I ask you this because few folk have seen dragons in the flesh besides we Ishgardians, and most would as soon dismiss them as products of the imagination. Alas, dragons are no less real than you and I, Nidhogg perhaps the most real of all. In the course of its history, Ishgard has suffered the creature's wrath on 8 separate occasions. Each time the Great Worm rouses, the blood of countless Ishgardians is spilled. Let us revisit the past once more, Windup. The time is 20 summers past, and the place Drabania. After a century in slumber, Nidhogg awakened once more to resume his reign of terror. Entire villages were razed to the ground, their inhabitants reduced to smoldering ash. Sensing the Great Worm's unbridled rage, others of his kind began to rouse, and in such numbers as to blot out the sun with their wings. A deep foreboding darkness swept over Ishgard. Raging infernos painting the belly of the sky in angry red, the agonized screams of innocents fading into deathly silence. In my station as the Azure Dragoon, I was there through it all, bore witness to all the horrors. But there was no time to offer even a silent prayer. Nidhogg lingered in one place only long enough to lay it to waste, and when he took wings, so too did I pursue him, a man possessed. This game of cat and mouse continued for what seemed an eternity before I found myself face to face with the Great Worm. Battle unfolded in a tiny settlement on the edge of Coruscant, raging on for 3 days and 3 nights, with neither side able to gain a decisive advantage. Remaining on my feet by sheer force of will, I realized that it must end now, else it shouldn't end well. Marshalling my last ounce of strength, I wagered all on a single thrust. My lance struck home, burying deep in the ruin of my opponent's empty eye socket. Yet, before I could withdraw my weapon, the worm lashed out wildly in its agony, dealing a blow that left me sprawled upon the scorched earth, nigh insensate. In that instant, I thought myself surely doomed, but Haloon was not finished with me. Having lost the taste for battle, Nidhogg let loose a blood-curdling roar before fleeing to the sky. The battle was over. While I did not perish from my injuries, they rendered my body unfit to bear the power of the dragon, and I was Azure Dragoon no more. Lying bedridden, my thoughts wandered to all the innocent lives that had been lost, the people I had failed to protect. That last conflict with the dragons of Dravania left countless orphans in its wake. Stinian is one of them, the sole survivor of Ferndale, the final village to suffer Nidhogg's wrath. With none left to care for him, I did the only thing I could. I took Estinian as my own son, instructing him in the way of the dragoon when he was of an age to learn. Yet I would not have you think me noble. My actions were born not of compassion, but of guilt. My guilt at having failed him. But alas, I have also failed him as a father. For what manner of man did I bring him up to be? A thief who would endanger the life of every one of his countrymen. Aye, you heard me right. All of Ishgard may suffer for his crime, though we know little and less of the minds of dragons. It's conceivable that the disturbance surrounding his stolen eye will rouse Nidhogg to awaken once more. That his kin have already stirred from their slumber serves as fair warning of that. Time is not on our side. Fortunately, it would seem you are more than ready to embark on your next trial. Make your way to Witchdrop, where the Knight Houston awaits. Your arrival. My nation is depending on you, Windup. Okay. Off to Witchdrop I go. Also, am I not cold with this, what I'm wearing? I feel like I should be cold. Especially someone as tiny as me. I do not believe... Ooh, the leaves of White Brim front are open now. Though I am level 40, I don't think jumping would be a good idea. Because most likely I would be just falling to my death. And I don't really want that, you know? At least not right now. You're the only one who would aspire to be. You are the one who would aspire to be as your dragoon. Why, you're not even of Ishgard. You truly possess the power that Sir Alberic sees in you. Then prove it to me with your lance. On guard. That is quite the amount of... There we go. That strength. I've not seen its like since Justinian himself stood before me. Yep, Sir Alberic has the right of it. After all, return and show your crystal to him. I have no doubt he will be pleased. Oh, looks like somebody's battling the Boido Riga. Or the Bodo Riga. Oh my, this bird feels super slow. You have passed yet another trial with flying colors lined up. The day when you may stand before Justinian as an equal is not far off. And when that day comes, I will choose you over the traitor. I have no doubt of this, but we must be patient still. For now, you must continue your training. When you can do no more on your own, seek me out once more. Your inner dragon grows stronger. Alright. I actually need a target for that to hit. Oh well. Oh, that's an interesting spear. That is a super interesting spear. Alright. I think I will be logging off here. Oh, this seems like a warm, cozy place. Wrong buttons. There we go. Alright, this is all I have for today. I'm just gonna be signing it off here, continuing on with the story next time. So, if you have enjoyed what you have seen, you could follow me at the links in chat. My YouTube is basically an archive for my previous streams, so you could feel free to go there, check for any of the previous streams. This one will be going up hopefully soon enough. And here is my schedule. There we go. So, tomorrow is Stardew Saturdays, where at 12 p.m., hopefully I will be playing some Stardew Valley. We'll just be continuing on with the first year. It's almost over. We'll be trying to work towards actually getting some sprinklers ready for when spring hits. So that's one of the goals I want to kind of do during the stream for the next couple of streams actually, till spring hits for year 2. Alright, so that brings my stream to an end. Have a lovely day, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. Until we meet again.